Giants fans, we've been in the news cycle for every available head coach that's on the market right now, especially former Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. I'm going to explain to you guys why the Atlanta Falcons interview today is not a serious threat to the New York Giants, why I fully believe John Harbaugh will be a New York Giant by the end of this week, the next head coach in this franchise's history. I have articles from Gary Myers. I also have what Adam Schefter said. I'm going to break down exactly what his tweet meant about all the links to the Dolphins, the Browns, the Bengals, the Bears. Every team in the NFL seems to be interested in John Harbaugh as of today, when yesterday it was only 2 or 3. The day before that it was only 4 or 5. I'm going to break it all down and show you why the Giants are the top threat to acquire the rights to John Harbaugh as the next head coach. But first, before any of that, guys, like, share, subscribe to this channel, as we will be following this John Harbaugh news all day, every day, because something new seems to be coming out every single day regarding this head coach and his availability to all these franchises. Hopefully the New York Giants are the team. But again, guys, follow me Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm doing all my stuff there. Let's get straight into what Adam Schefter said regarding John Harbaugh and what happened today during the interview. So, first, we got news today that out of nowhere, the Atlanta Falcons tweet out, we've finished our we've conducted our formal interview for vacancy, the head coaching position with John Harbaugh. Everyone's up in arms because Adam Schefter didn't break it. Ian Rappaport didn't break it. ESPN didn't. Your favorite beat reporter didn't break it. Your source didn't break it. What that shows me is that John Harbaugh and his agent are doing tremendous work behind the scenes in keeping everyone out of this process. Not many people are going to know what the hell is going to be going on. All we're all doing right now is educated guesses from what we've seen with the tea leaves and trying to put 2 and 2 together. And hopefully I'm right in saying that he will be the next head coach of the New York Giants. But again, Atlanta tweets it out today. And then what do we see a couple of minutes after that? We see a tweet from Adam Schefter, and not just Schefter, but multiple people in the industry saying, this is Schefter's tweet first. While the Falcons announced the official interview with former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, he's already been conducting preliminary and extensive phone calls with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals. He is trying to determine who to meet with later this week and into next week before making a decision. He's fully expected to coach in 2026. Why this tweet matters, and take the Cardinals out of there. I don't think the Raiders are a threat, possibly the Browns. The Titans, Giants, and Falcons, I think, are the 3 main destinations for John Harbaugh. I can't see any other team besides those 3 being serious threats to the Giants, besides the Titans and the Falcons, which would be legitimate. The problem that we all got today, when everybody was up in arms, Giants fans included, was that the interview was conducted. A few minutes later, we find out it was over the phone, not in person. What does that mean, Giants fans? This is something the New York Giants, Joe Schoen and John Mara, this is something the New York Giants have been doing since the second John Harbaugh was let go from the Baltimore Ravens. The Giants have been relentless. Quote, Joe Schoen has been relentless in his pursuit of getting John Harbaugh to the New York Football Giants and trying to make him the next head coach of this franchise. Nothing is getting in the way of the Giants. They've been doing this before anybody else. Now, that might not have been a formal interview. That could just be kind of preliminary discussions to get a feel of their availability, of what Harbaugh wants, what the Giants are willing to do, possibly some sort of contract stuff in there, how much we're willing to go, what do you want, how many years, all that stuff, how he wants to run the team, who he wants to hire. All that stuff could be done during the preliminary interviews with the Giants. But the best part about what we're seeing now with the Giants process is that if they happen to bring John Harbaugh in Wednesday or Thursday, the Giants have already fulfilled their obligations in the Rooney Rule, according to the NFL. They've interviewed multiple people that fill out the Rooney Rule, and they got that process done. So, the Giants are ahead of the curve here when it comes to the Rooney Rule. They've conducted the interviews that they were supposed to conduct to get the Rooney Rule not out of the way, but just to get that rule satisfied by the NFL. The Titans have yet to do that, and the Atlanta Falcons have yet to do that. That's why that is a big plus where the New York Giants can have him in on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and they can offer him a contract immediately, as multiple reports have come out that the New York Giants are willing and ready to offer him the head coaching position immediately the second he comes into the building, or if the New York Giants have to travel and go to Baltimore or wherever he is with his agent, the Giants will be ready with the contract and the discussions to get him in the building. So this is where we are in terms of that. What came out today from Gary Myers? Now, Gary Myers is a guy that I've been following, along with Ian O'Connor. Those are the two guys I've been following throughout this process. They've been more right than wrong and pretty much spot on throughout this whole thing. So this was the initial break that we got. After Ian Rappaport tweeted about the interview, Harbaugh talked to the Ravens on the phone like he has done with several teams in advance of a potential, formal interview. What does that mean? Okay? Because the Atlanta Falcons, if we get into what Atlanta did, and then this is just weird to me, right? To me, this is just, it's weird behavior by the Falcons to put out a tweet that says right here that we conducted, it's clear as day from the Atlanta Falcons Twitter account, we have interviewed John Harbaugh for our head coaching opening. Now, everybody else is saying these are just the phone calls that you just do the preliminary work on. No, this is what the confusion is with a lot of people because we don't know what the hell's going on now, right? If this phone call between Harbaugh and the Falcons was just to get them acquainted with one another and see where the direction of what he wants the team to be, why the hell would the Atlanta Falcons Twitter account tweet out, we just finished our interview with John Harbaugh for the head coaching position? It makes absolutely no sense. Somebody's getting the misinformation because the Atlanta Falcons are saying they interviewed him, and then other sources are saying it was just a phone call to discuss like a preliminary, how could we do this contract sort of thing with the Falcons and Harbaugh. It makes no sense what's happening right now, okay? This is the hottest free agent head coach on the market. There's multiple head coaches on the market that are going to be well received if the fan bases take them in, like Kevin Stefanski, Mike McCarthy. There's multiple coordinators out there that a lot of people want. I'm more on the ilk of keeping status quo, in meaning not status quo. I'm more in line of keeping my philosophy with this franchise of getting a proven guy in here. And that's exactly what I want with Harbaugh. And we saw the reports today that Matt LaFleur, which a lot of Giants fans were panicking about that. We saw the reports today that Matt LaFleur is most likely not going anywhere from Green Bay, as he shouldn't, because that would be very foolish for the Packers to get rid of Matt LaFleur. I think that would be extremely stupid on their part. You got a young guy in there who's 76-40 in his career. Everybody's got to slow down. 76-40, 3-6 in the postseason, yes. But Matt LaFleur is a hell of a head coach. All right, and what he's developed over there with the Packers with Jordan Love, you don't want to just cut that right now. And that's only going to get better there. They lost Parsons. They lost the tight end, the star tight end, that he got hurt. Multiple things went wrong for the Packers this year. And he was out-coaching Ben Johnson until a lot of players really let him down. McManus, Jalen Reed had a big drop. Multiple players let him down. All right? But the Giants are in a great spot here. All right? This doesn't mean that the Giants are going to get John Harbaugh. My belief is that they will land him based on the situation, based on the relentless pursuit by ownership, by Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen willing to adjust his role within the organization in order to land John Harbaugh. That's been discussed by multiple sources in-house and with the New York Giants and reported. He will adjust. The Giants will offer him a lot of money, maybe the most money, and they're going to do whatever they can to possibly get him here. If he doesn't come here, I can't say this enough. If he doesn't come here, it is not because Giant ownership didn't do everything that they possibly could to get him here. This is a team that's willing to adjust the role of the general manager and Joe Schoen, if not completely let him go. A team that's willing to offer a ton of money, and a team that has a young nucleus of talent and a future quarterback in-house already, with Malik Neighbors, with Cam Scatterbo, with a developing offensive line that ranked 8th in football last year. All right, with pass rushers all over the field. Getting Harbaugh in here is priority number one for this team. Whether it happens or not is a completely different argument. But they will exhaust all options possible to do it. They will do that. I promise that. And the Rooney Rule thing, I want to touch on that one more time. The Giants have satisfied the Rooney Rule already. The Atlanta Falcons have yet to satisfy the Rooney Rule, nor have the Tennessee Titans. So Atlanta, even though they had a phone call today, we'll probably get more details on how that phone call went, or if it even was an interview, which Atlanta is reporting. Atlanta's yet to fulfill the rule. The Titans have yet to fulfill the rule. The Giants have done that already. So the Giants, in a sense, can offer him a contract immediately the second his interview happens. They can have a contract ready to go with all the preliminary discussions that the Giants have been having for days now. They know what John Harbaugh wants at this point. He knows what the Giants want at this point. Now it's just a matter of putting those puzzle pieces together, making them fit, getting the contract signed, and getting him in here as the next head coach, which ownership will 1,000% push for under any means necessary. They will leave no stone unturned in getting this guy in here to try and fix this thing up. Guys, follow me. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We are going to be all over this Harbaugh news. Whether the Giants get him or not, you're going to see me happy or you're going to see me upset with fallback options. So Instagram, Twitter, it'll all be in the description. Check out the description. Let's go, G-Men. Let's get this thing done this week so we can start focusing on the NFL draft, which I will be doing tons of draft content for you guys. Just follow the channel. Thank you guys for watching.